All right, hey everybody. This is going to be a quick video, just really reviewing the newest release from WeiJiang. This is their MPP-10Z. That's a battle damaged MPP-10 figure. It's got some cool kind of custom paint applications to their standard MPP-10 mold. So I just picked this up just a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was announced in mid-December-ish. I saw it on TF Direct. I went ahead and just ordered it. And then it's already here at my house in the States. So I think it was less than 2 weeks. So this is still pretty new out there. So hopefully this will help everyone decide if they want to pick this one up. And there he is, a little bit closer up without the box. The colors themselves are a little bit more muted than they would be on an MPP-10. The reds, I want to say, are borderline, I want to say a little bit more maroonish. There's definitely some more dulling of the color there on the main part of the body. And then the blues themselves are a totally different blue, and I'll pull out my MPP-10 here in a second to show a comparison. But the blues are almost, I would say, almost more like a Hasbro, more animation style blue, but it's still got a very dull look to it, which is actually pretty cool. I don't know if the video is catching it, but this is actually a really interesting figure. I really actually like the coloring. So one of the reasons why I actually picked this one up was because I know Sideshow Collectibles has an Optimus Prime statue, and of course, you know, it's ridiculously expensive because it's, you know, super cool. But at the same time, like, the colors of this figure itself remind me a lot of that statue, and that's kind of why I wanted to pick this one up and check it out. So you'll see here on the thighs and going into the legs, they've got some silver paint on there to kind of give it that scratch look. Down here, they've got some washes and stuff to kind of fill in the gaps, make them look a little bit more dirty. One of the cool things on this, actually, I noticed when I was playing around with them, is these translucent panels here. They actually have like dulled them, so it really does look like some kind of old glass. They did a really good job with that, so that's actually pretty cool. And you probably can't see it, but it's actually in the toes itself. So there's some yellow down here, and there's a little red square. Same kind of effects there as well. Same thing here. So like on this gas can, push that back a little bit. They got some, I think it's I was going to say a dry brush, but they take, you know, a brush and just do some silver and they splash it on there. So it's got the silver markings here to emulate scratches and whatnot. You kind of spin it around. Again, they kind of go around and do it on the back side as well. Up in the back, it looks like, you know, somebody's taken sandpaper and like kind of shaved some of these sides out. So it's actually pretty cool there. And then the face does have some of that silver lining, so there's, it looks like some chips, and like I said, I'll get up and close here in a minute to show everybody. But the other thing that they did was they, for the windshields, it looks like they took the shattered glass approach to it. They got the bullet hole there for the right breastplate, and then the crack there. So could have been a little bit more battle damagey, but overall, I think it actually works pretty well. All right, and there he is close up. So again, see if I can do that a little bit better there. But the one thing I've always liked about WeiJiang is they actually paint in the eyes. They don't have that dead look like the Takara version of the MP-10. So what's odd about this is, as I look at it, and I'm not sure if this is coming through, but the eyes are actually very similar to the paint that's used for the helmet and the rest of the body. So it's actually very similar in person. This that kind of bugs me is the head is a bit floppy. If you get in there, you can see the eyes. You can see the silver paint there along the side to kind of give them that scuffed up look. There's some paint on the mask itself that makes it look like it's been chipped, which is pretty cool. And then you can see here too, kind of right where the chest is and the where the lights of the truck would be, there's some paint chipping. So to be honest with you, I'm not sure if that just happened in the box or if that's part of the look. So the grill here has got a few different shades of silver on it to kind of give it, again, dirty look. Shoulder wise, there's some more scuffing up there. You all can see that. Let's go ahead and pick them up. There is the scuff marks on the feet, and then what it looks like on the sides there. So Again, it is actually really cool in person. I am actually pretty happy with this purchase. And here he is with the standard MPP-10. So, like I mentioned before, the MPP-10 is a lot brighter. It's a lot more vibrant. Battle Damage Prime over there on the right is definitely a bit more muted. Like I said, he's seen some stuff. So this is the color contrast between the two. This looks like a toy. This is more on the collectible, I don't want to say statuesque figure scale for me, but toy looking, a little bit more thought and effort put into that one. So you can see here the difference in the blues. Definitely darker blue like the Takara release. A little bit lighter for whatever reason choice there. The reds are extremely different. This is what I was talking about with the eyes up here. The regular version has a much darker helmet, so the eyes really do pop. The eyes on this guy are closer aligned to what the helmet color is. So for some reason that pops more than this one. I don't know. It looks more together here for some reason to me, and that's just probably personal preference. There. So then here's the translucence that I was talking about. You can really see the details here. Like there's some circles and line works. It's very clear. This looks like it's, you know, pretty old and beat up. So there is that one. And here he is with the movie version of Prime. This is, I believe, the WeiJiang M01, I want to say. I believe the guy who did the customization was, say, like Black Apple or something. I'm really bad at this. This, again, not a professional video. But this is the comparison between the two battle damage primes that they have. So you can see here, I've got them standing pretty much next to each other, but Bayverse is a little shorter. MPP-10Z over here does come in a little bit heftier. Very similar feels to these guys when you take them out of the box. So I forgot to mention this when I first showed this figure, but because he's been custom painted, and I don't know if this is a custom paint thing. These two are my, well, I only have 3 custom painted figures. They're very soft and they kind of have like a grainy feel to them, right? So they both feel similar in that respect. So if you do get this thing, just be aware that it's not going to feel like plastic. It's going to feel like there's some grit to it. It's not bad. It's not like, you know, they just rolled it around in dirt and then sent it out. It just has a different textural feel to it. So you can see here they did kind of the same paint applications here with the dry brushing with the silver to give it that scratched up look. They got it here and here. This one has a little bit more like fleck. Like they took, what's the old trick? Like you take a toothbrush and go, and that's pretty much what it looks like here to give it some spotting. Not so much on this guy, which I actually kind of like. I would say, honestly, this one has more paint and more personal attention to it than this one, but I like this one. So this is what they look like all together. And just for fun, here he is, or this is how he got battle damage. So here is WeiJiang's take on Megatron and battle damage Prime. And apparently I'm just going to clear off my shelves tonight and put all these guys together, and apparently I have a Prime problem as well. But you can see here, so the standard MP-10 with MPP-10Z. Like any good Prime, he'll come with his trusty Energon Axe, right? So everybody comes with this one. This one's a little bit more warped, a little bit more dented than I would have liked. Kind of a disappointing way this came out of the box. However, could just be mine, so I don't know. I can't remember, and they're probably in a box somewhere that's in storage, but one thing that this comes like, it actually comes like this, if I can pull it off. It actually comes in 2 pieces, and I don't think I've actually seen an Energon Axe do that. So, could be wrong. I have 5 of these guys. I should know this by now, but I don't remember ever them coming in 2 pieces. I always know it's one solid chunk of plastic. So, this might be something new. They got some silver highlights here and all this good stuff. Try to rotate it with the lights, but they try to give it at least some variation on the Energon Axe. So, I mean, I can give them props for that, but Wish it was a little bit more not bent. So I guess some hot water, which will probably take the paint off, but whatever. And then, of course, I have like my 20th matrix of leadership. So this one is a little bit different in color. It's more of a darker orange, I want to say, than I think I'm used to. But you can kind of see here, they got a little bit messy with the paint. This does not, the matrix here does not have the LED light in it. He does come with the standard MPP-10 gun. It just does have some silver flecks on it. And you probably can't see it because of the light, but there is some paint on this thing. So let me try to get closer. So like right in here, they try to do some effects work with the paint. But this thing is still pretty black. So pretty shiny when you put it in his hand. They also give you that bad boy. So now that is a gun. Like I said before, this is part of the, I think it's Kubenbau modification kit that they came out with for the MPP-10. It does have a battery compartment. Flip this sucker on, this lights up blue, and then there's an LED light in there. I am out of those batteries, so I probably won't get to that one, but they do give you 2 guns, which is actually kind of nice. So if you do want the LED effect on your gun, that gives you that option. So if you kind of zoom in here, they do give the scrape look again. There is probably more work on this gun than the smaller one, which I would probably use this one anyway, but you can kind of see there on the barrel. Some here on the top to give it that more scuffed up look. Again, it doesn't quite match the amount of damage. I'm going to try to finger quote that you see on the figure, but I mean, it's an attempt, right? Maybe not exactly the best, but what can you do? Move those guys out of the way. Of course, because, you know, you need a matrix and you need a spike, I think. I seriously have like 5 of those in like Sharkticon mouths because I have so many of those things. It's like I don't need any more. And then the hands. So here's both hands. They do have all the articulation you would ever want. This is actually a pretty cool feature. I do like this. They do have some scuffs on the hands. There's some looks like the brownish gray paint with the scuff work there, so that's pretty cool. The one major complaint that I have, though, I'm going to try to do this, is that the hands don't match the figure. So I'm going to try this as best as I can. So there is color of the hand, color of the replacement. So you can see that they are two totally different blues. So this is more like, geez, my fingers are bad. Anyways, this is more like the MPP-10, this color blue, right? It just doesn't match. So just be warned, if you try to swap these out, you're going to have mismatched hands. So that is cool, but also a miss on some of these accessories right there with that. In fact, let me try to... I hear a bunch of background noise, which is me rustling through everything. The funny thing about these, so here's my MPP-10 hand, right? Close, but still not exact. So this hand is somewhere in between this and the Battle Damage Prime. So I'm not exactly sure where they came up with this one. But, you know, if you're slapping them on and you throw them on a shelf, I don't think you're going to notice it that much, but it's worth noting. And here he is, all transformed up into truck mode. So I did do this off camera. If anybody has ever done an MP-10 or MPP-10 or any kind of prime, it's the exact same. Down a little bit. So there's the front of the cab. Again, here's all the scrapes and whatnot. They got some dry brushing here on the bumpers, which I did want to mention are not chrome. They are a silver paint. So the MPP-10 does have a chrome bumper. This guy does not. So I think that actually adds to the whole overall dull look to him. But you can see it looks like he's hit some bugs or something here. Typical truck. There's the shattered glass kind of detailing on the windshield there. More paint details. That's actually pretty cool. It's really subtle. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. We'll spin it around here. There's your mirrors. A little bit more scuffing around here. The tires look pretty good and dirty. The flatbed here, again, probably has the most noticeable scuffs and scrapes. There's the back view. And again, this is probably just me not being able to do this as well as I should. But there he is again. So more scuffing and dents and stuff like that on the side. The gas canisters here, a few scrapes and whatnot here. More dry brushing and all that good stuff around here. The smokestacks are actually pretty cool. Let me try to zoom back up here. They do actually look like, you know, there's been exhaust coming out of those. So that's actually kind of a cool touch. You can see there. So yeah, there's that. Rolls pretty good. Maybe a little squeaky, but that's, I'm not sure if like the paint kind of caused some of this. Like I think I've said it somewhere that the overall feel of this guy is a little bit gummy. So I don't know if that affected the overall transformation, or again, it's just my lack of being able to transform something. But yeah, there's some squeaks in there. Not sure if you can hear that, but could be some paint. Doesn't look like that wheel was fully touching, but I think again, there we go. That's just me. I didn't have time to really transform my MPP-10. I have yet another Prime here that I can show you. This is actually the crystal version of the MPP-10. So I feel like I'm a WeiJiang sales guy right now. Again, all of these cost about as much as the same as this dumb MP-10 I bought from Toys R Us over the summer. So, but in general, that's, you can kind of see the differences. Oops, sorry about that. You can see the differences here. Obviously, this one's crystal clear, but the color scheme is pretty close to what the regular MPP-10 is. It's got the chrome bumper and headlights and grille and all that good stuff. But yeah, let's see if we can just maybe do it like this so you can see the difference in the coloring. So again, very cartoony. Seen some things. All right, and to do some quick final thoughts on this guy. So, is he worth it? I'm going to say yes. He is a little bit expensive. I think I got him for around $100 US dollars. I could have bought a MPP-10 cheaper, but I'm sure there's ways to get this guy a little bit more under that $100 mark. So, I personally like him. I think he's good. You know, the accessories were nice, not exactly the best, but the overall look and feel of this guy I really do like. So, like I said, you can get him into some pretty good stances. The paint is pretty cool. It's a little bit different variation of Prime that I haven't seen, at least on my shelf. So, yeah, I hope you guys like this video. And again, major props to people who do this professionally. This is a lot of work. Hats off to all the professionals out there who give us all these reviews so we can fill our shelves with our hobby. So anyways, hope this was helpful for everybody. Take care.